Welcome to the lunch break. I am Star Fuentes, and I'm joined with
Michael Rossello here.
Yes, and we have a very special lunch break for you listening today. We have a radio rap done by Dana Diamond. She went around our campus, Five Towns College, and asked students about food insecurities and what they do when they purchase food, if they purchase food, and it really brought a lot of people wondering, and it shocked a lot of people on the topics that it touched on. So we're going to play that clip for you. We actually have Dana coming into the studio, and she's going to talk about her radio rap. So that's going to be the overall theme of today's lunch break, right?
Yeah, right. It's a very interesting clip. We were listening to it earlier, weren't we?
Yes. We listened to it earlier. It is very interesting. We're going to play it for you so you could hear it for yourself. And when we come back, we're just going to discuss it, and we're just going to have a great conversation. So let's go ahead and play that clip.
Right on it.
College students are hungrier than you think. Colleges and universities may be overlooking food insecurity on campus. Food insecurity at Five Towns College is far worse than you think. For many college students, hunger can make it hard to focus in class. And here at Five Towns College, many students are unaware that they may have a classmate who can't afford food and just skip the meal.
The food here is very expensive. I come to a point where I go to the office to get candy and snacks because I cannot afford it. Every day I look on the menu and there's nothing that I can afford. So I go back to the office, get candy every 2 hours just to sustain my hunger because I cannot afford the food.
According to the 2014 Hunger in America report, 4.5 million adults who face hunger are students. Nearly 1/3 reported that they have to choose between paying for food or covering educational expenses.
I don't live on campus, but I commute back and forth from home. So my parents really cook for me. They take care of all my food expenses. I don't really have to worry about buying food from school. But because I don't want my friends to go hungry, I normally give them my food card and let them buy their own food from the school because most of them really can't afford it. And I just really try to help them out, so I give them my food card.
There are no firm numbers of FTC students who struggle with food insecurity, but according to a counselor at Five Towns College, this is an ongoing problem.
Carolyn Newman, I'm one of the counselors at Counseling Services at Five Towns College. The issue with food insecurity as it exists in Five Towns College does exist. Along with the food insecurities what comes along with that is financial insecurities. And sometimes, but not often, homelessness comes along with that. It's all related, but academics, certainly that has to be a concern. It's hard to focus on your academics, concentrate, but more likely is the drive to get the money to buy the meal, to buy the food, to get in family issues, I would put it.
If any student here at FTC is facing food insecurity problems, they can reach out to their local advisor and they can help them with resources to help them solve their problem.
Good morning. My name is James Ryan. I am the HEOP director here at Five Towns College. Food insecurities and what can be done on campus and who students can see if they're having any kind of issues where they're not able to afford food or they're not eating here on campus. One of the things that they can do, we've always had an open door policy, so they can come and see myself or they can see their advisor. With that, let the advisors know that they're having difficulties with these issues. And by coming to us, we can explore some possibilities that might be available to them, help them find resources to be able to either afford food or that provides food for students that can't actually afford food on a regular basis.
No student should go hungry. You can contact Long Island Cares at 631-582-3663 and they can help you find a food pantry nearest you.
All right, so that was the clip, and that was a very special radio rap done by Dana Diamond. And it started off as just a class project, but the topic is just so serious, and I think it's becoming something bigger than a class project. So Dana's here, and we're just going to have a little discussion about what you found when you went and interviewed those students and the faculty members.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. My name is Dana Diamond. When my professor actually brought up the topic food, my first reaction was to think outside of the box, not to just be so cliche. You know, go up to a student here at Five Towns College and ask, you know, do you like the food? How is it? I thought so far further than that. I wanted to know, how did the food affect us, and a more deeper, you know, thought than just do you like it or not. So I got to thinking, and I did a little bit of research. And the first thing I actually went to do is actually, I asked the FTC counselor here, was food insecurity a problem here, before I actually even did any, you know, further investigation. That was the first thing I needed to know. Was it a problem? And she said it is a problem here, but it's tabooed. It's not talked about as much as, you know, other things are. So I interviewed a couple of students on campus, and I was kind of scared because I didn't think anyone would open up to me about it. But it was just shocking. It was surprising that people actually was like comfortable with me to actually say, yeah, food insecurity, which is basically, you know, the lack of food someone get because they don't have reliable resources to actually get it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I was surprised that people actually opened up to me. And it became, to me, it was like, wow. And then when I brought it to my professor, because like I said, she only gave me the topic food, so she didn't think I was going to actually go this far. She was like, wow, like, this is surprising because, you know, I'm like the quiet kid in class.
Yeah.
So she's like,
no, you did a
wow,
very
like,
great job on this, and you touched almost like everyone. You got different perspectives on this topic, and it's so funny because I know as a student here, we get a lot of people always complaining about the food and just always complaining and complaining, but it's kind of more than just complaining. It's more than just like making fun of the food or just not agreeing what's being offered. It's more than that. There's a deeper topic here. So I'm just so thankful that you touched on that deeper topic than just not liking one thing.
Yeah.
It's a serious topic because not everyone has a privilege. Not everyone has the ability to get the food that they need, or even consistently with the meal cards. It's just very hard. So this was definitely a great radio rap, and just thank you for that.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, I never really considered that, honestly. I always looked at people with the food here and just, I was one of the people who would complain about the stuff here. Like, even my meal card, like, I have no money on it, but I never really thought, like, about the other students who maybe used up their card and just, they can't do anything about it. Like, I could have just gone bought myself stuff with my cash or gone out and bought with my credit card, but I never thought of it like that. It really opened my eyes.
What's so funny is when I interviewed one of the girls, as I'm doing her interview, her friend is like passing the food card, like, here you go. And she's like, see, this is...
Yeah, like one of my friends, like, they dorm here and they don't eat much, so they basically give their card out to like every person they know just to use up the cash on it.
Yeah. So that also plays in a different spin in it too. Like, what are the food options that are being offered? Because I know if you were to talk to our president, David Cohen, he has said so many times before that from what the food was in the past to what it is now is completely different, and it's a huge upgrade. That's what he would say. So hearing that, and then also hearing the students that aren't still happy with the food, it is a little bit frustrating. So what the RAs have been doing for the past few weeks is they went around and they collected some food survey forms, and it basically asks you questions about the food and how it's being presented, and is it good for you? What kind of food would you want to see? So I feel like they're definitely making those steps.
No, yeah, they're definitely making the steps. And one thing that I wanted to include in my rap, but I was limited to time, was that Five Towns College is addressing food insecurities step by step, because when you start the semester off, you get $50 on your food card because they know people are having hardship. You
Yeah.
know, some students have to pick whether they're going to pay for books or buy food. And food is like one of the most flexible needs because you can buy a 89-cent ramen noodles.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yep.
So it's a flexible need, and some kids don't really take account of that. They losing nutrients.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Now, with that being said, the $50 already on your meal card, for the start of the semester, it is a good thing, but at the same time, some students will argue the fact that the amount of money that you spend on just one meal here is about like $12 or $13. Now, how many times do you eat a day? How long are you in the school for? And how can you stretch out that $50 for
I'm
the
glad
whole
you brought that
semester?
up, Star, because I live off campus, and the food insecurities on campus don't affect me directly because I buy my food at home and I prepare it at home, but it does affect me because it's affecting the students around me. But I never knew we had the $50 on the food card, but when I was doing my research, I learned of it, and I actually purchased food, I think like 2 or 3 times, and the food card lasted me like a week and a half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same here with me.
Yeah.
Because I did the research. Like, I wanted to know, like, this
Yeah.
$50, how long is it going to last me? It lasted me like 3, I was swiped it like 3 times.
And just like not knowing how much you have on there, even at times.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't know if the actual card situations or any of that will make a huge drastic difference, but I think just talking about this, and I think having this food service satisfaction survey can really help out, because there are some things that we might request on the Five Towns Facebook page for the food service, and then they appear in the Upbeat. So it's not like they're not listening. They are listening to us, but they just have to start listening on the more greater topics, not just cookies and drinks.
Yes.
It has to be more like substantial food. Like, what can Five Towns do to help the people that really depend on that $50? Because that $50 does not go a long way.
No, it doesn't at
Does
all.
not. Does not.
And I did talk to the RAs. Because one thing that you did say that you wanted to see was more frozen food, because you
Yes.
don't really enjoy fried food as much.
Yes.
People that's health conscious doesn't want fried food every day.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I did bring up to the RA's attention, is that we need more healthier choices for the kids here on campus.
Yeah,
especially for the ones that live here.
I agree. I really
do agree, too.
Yeah, we don't have to have gourmet meals or anything. Like, if they're not going to change like the food itself or like the staff itself, that's okay. Just provide us with different options. If people really truly like what they're serving in the Upbeat, completely fine. Keep it the way it is. But at the same time, just add different options for the people that might not want those things.
Yes.
So I really think frozen food, those smart meals, those lean cuisines, like, they're pretty cheap. They're like $2 each,
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so I would say just to add those, maybe a freezer in the Upbeat for the people that dorm here, or even for the commuters that have the microwaves in the Upbeat. You can use them, available to everyone. It's a quick and easy thing, frozen foods. That's a suggestion that I made on my food service survey. I'm just going to go ahead and just read you some of the questions real
Yes.
quick, okay? So some of the questions on this survey include, are you currently a resident or a commuter? And you would have to check, whether or not you're a resident or a
I'm a
commuter.
commuter.
Yeah, so you're a commuter. And then it goes into, on average, how many times do you purchase an item or items from the Upbeat Cafe?
I actually purchase a coffee about 3 times a week,
Okay.
once a day.
Okay. So there's like a spot for you to put that. And then it says, on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 is dissatisfied, 5 is very satisfied. How would you rate the quality of food options in the Upbeat Cafe?
I would put, only because I don't eat the food here,
Yeah.
I would probably put an A, because
Okay.
I don't eat the food, so I really wouldn't, it's like a misunderstanding with
Yeah.
me in the cafeteria, because I don't eat their food, to say, okay, your quality's a 5 or your quality's a 0. I can't
No.
really rate them.
Let's just say they had a food option that you were really into, Would you purchase it? Would you be into it if it was something like, I don't know what's something that you would eat, but they have regular French fries, hamburgers, grilled cheeses and stuff there. But if it was something that was different, really good quality, would you consider buying from the Upbeat more?
Yes, I probably would.
Okay.
But I'm just always like want to go. So
Yes. Okay. Understandable. Completely understandable. Then we have question 4. On a scale from 1 to 5, with 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, how satisfied are you with the staff in the Upbeat?
I only interact with the lady at the cashier.
Yeah.
But I'm satisfied with her.
Yeah, I gotta say the food.
She's pretty okay. Like,
Yeah, the food service people are really extremely nice. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to talk bad about, the staff because they are extremely nice and very helpful. So we don't want anyone to lose their jobs.
True.
But just a little upgrade in the food, that's getting provided to the students and especially the commuters are a really big deal, and it's something very serious because, again, not everyone has the privilege of dorming here and getting all the money. So some people are trying to make that $50 last the semester, which just isn't cutting it.
No, it only lasts like a week and a half.
Yeah, you hear it for yourself. It only lasts a week and a half. So we should definitely consider making a change in that. And thank you for creating that really great radio rap because it just brought some really great topics and questions.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Of course. Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome.
Wow,
Yeah,
Mike.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy, right?
It is crazy. Like, you have to think, like, the food, just in general. What would you even get if there wasn't, like, certain options? Like, I was just thinking of the options I would get, like, all the time.
Yeah. So what's something that you're a commuter, what's something that you would get at the Upbeat?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, like, I was going to say, I can't say coffee because they already have coffee. Honestly, would have to say if they had, like, another, like, you know how they have, like, the wraps or, like, the sandwiches they can make?
Yes.
I was thinking, like, they have more options, like, stuff you can get on it.
Yeah, I agree. What they have is like standard. It's pretty good. They say that they have it, they advertise it, and they do have it. But of course, with everything, it would be nice to have a variety of options. So hopefully, with this new satisfaction survey, people will actually speak their mind and not just blow through questions, because that happens sometimes with surveys.
Oh, it happens all the time.
Yes, in this college, we get a survey and we just click or we just write the most beneficial thing, and we don't really take a lot of time into putting our thoughts on paper. So I really hope that the students here got this survey and honestly answering it so that a change can be made, because if you're not saying what you want on this paper, nothing's going to happen.
Your voice won't be heard. And I actually was just thinking of this, like, since there's, like, a lot of students that always have, like, money that runs over from, like, each semester, like, that they don't spend, like, what if they took whatever money wasn't spent and put it to, like, improving, like, their options and variety in food?
Yeah, agreed. So these are all really great ideas that we should definitely put on our surveys. I know that the RAs are still going around with their orange folders giving out surveys. So make sure if you are a dorming student or if you are a commuter, you are filling out these surveys. Even staff, like, you guys can fill this out too. We would love to hear what you have to say and maybe make some changes. This survey has about like 10 questions, and it doesn't take too long. It took me about like 15 minutes to do, really putting in every one of my thoughts. Hopefully these changes will be made so everyone can be treated equal when it comes to food, and nobody has to suffer the repercussions of being hungry and not having enough food.
Or just feeling left out from, like, your peers. Like, you don't want to be that kid that has to keep going to the vending machine because you can't afford anything from the cafeteria.
Yep, agreed. 100% agreed. So that was a really great radio rap. Again, it was started off as a class project and it turned into something way bigger than that.
It really did. And honestly, comparing it to, like, the ones the one I did and probably the one you did, like, hers blew me away.
Yes, definitely. Because you kind of feel for the students and you feel for the staff that's talking. So I really enjoyed it, really liked it. Thanks again, Dana. That was really great. So we're going to go back into our normal groove of the lunch break. We're going to kick it off with some music. And when we come back, we're going to give you some news, you know, your Five Towns news. We got it all for you, right, Mike?
Yep, right here on the lunch break. I'm Michael Rossello.
And I'm Star Fuentes, and we will be right back
after this message.